Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone, the YouTube channel. And somehow the Club World Cup final day is just around the corner. This tournament has flown past. We've slagged it. I've slagged it. I've been happy with it. I've flip-flopped, but we're finally here. And we have a very exciting final on our hands. European champions Paris Saint-Germain taking on this up-and-coming Chelsea side. And boy, everyone has an opinion on Chelsea right now. Everyone has a, conclusive opinion on PSG, being they are the best team in world football. But will they be able to topple the Blues in this game here? I'll give my prediction, but we'll also be doing a combined 11 here in this video between the two sides. It is very heavily favoured in the PSG camp, considering how well they've played, how they continue to keep performing. That's the one thing for me. Coming to this final, they've come off the back of a brilliant Champions League run and a historic final victory, the biggest in history. A lot of the players backed it up. Many won the Nations League with Portugal and then followed up even further here to the Club World Cup. They have not had a break, what it feels like, for probably over a year, but they're still performing, they're still pressing, and I think it'll cause Chelsea all sorts of problems. But very much looking forward to this final, to speak about my thoughts on the game after this combined 11. Let's go in goal. Obviously, it's Gianluigi Donnarumma. Has missed a few games in this tournament, only played the two, kept the one clean sheet in those two games there. Obviously one of the best keepers in world football. A man who always stands up on the big occasions. We don't see much of him anymore, being in League One, and we turn a blind eye to that league. But when he's on the big stage in the Champions League, when he has been there for Italy, he's always a man that stands up in the big situations, in finals. And I think, yet again, he's the better of the two keepers. Obviously, we look at Robert Sanchez, mistake-riddled, has some great moments, but inconsistency is the big one with him. Whereas Donnarumma, you always know you're going to get 7, 8 out of 10 from him on any given night, and that's why he goes in goal for me. Across the back line, we've got Achraf Hakimi at right back. The man does everything. 2 goals, 2 assists, 5 clean sheets in his appearances in this Club World Cup. That stat line there is the epitome of Achraf Hakimi, driving forward, contributing in the final third. One of the best crosses of the football. I've come to realise that he actually puts in a great delivery in the box, and he's often that player that tucks inside and becomes an extra late run into the box. We've seen goals from him on the break. We've seen goals from him making that late run into the box. He's become a massive threat in the final third, and as such, he has to come into this side as the right back. We know Chelsea have got some very good right backs with Reece James and Malo Gusto, but Achraf Hakimi right now is in a world of his own. And look, I always looked at the Inter Milan wing backs as some of the best full-backs in world football, wing-backs in world football, but they got humbled on the Champions League final night, and as such, Achraf Hakimi has to go on this side for me. The two centre-halves, I've gone with Tosin Adarabioyo alongside Marquinhos. I think Marquinhos, the captain for PSG. Talk about oozing calmness, oozing coolness at the back, making big challenges, leading the side as the captain. Has never really put a foot wrong for me on the big stage. So he goes in at centre-half alongside Adarabioyo, who is someone who I never really thought would be the big club player. He always screamed like a Fulham or mid-table Premier League type player, but he's coming to this Chelsea side. Enzo Maresca's taken this competition very, very seriously. Limited changes to starting 11, and that is included Tosin Adarabioyo. He's been a constant figure, keeping the 2 clean sheets in his 4 appearances for Chelsea in this tournament. Has stood out for me. Very strong physically in the air, which I'm not normally associated with Tosin Adarabioyo, but being much better in the air. And obviously, into a challenge, he can be long, he can be hard to get past, and he's done that very, very well. More of your Rolls Royce with Tosin Adarabioyo, but he's done a bit of the grit work in this tournament here. I'd love to see that. And obviously at left back, it speaks for himself. Nuno Mendes has been out of this world. I'm taking into account also the Nations League as well, and that great run he went on, continued into this tournament here. The 5 clean sheets, hasn't made any contributions going forward, but when Hakimi is basically a midfielder or a winger at times, he's the one that has to hold back and protect the back line. So Nuno Mendes speaks for himself. The midfield 3, again, very hard to get Chelsea players in here. I've gone with the PSG duo of Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz. Vitinha, 3 goals and 1 assist. Fabian Ruiz, also 3 goals and 1 assist. Fabian Ruiz, someone mentioned it on a Twitter thread the other day. One of the most underspoken about, underappreciated midfielders in world football. Generational type run with Spain into a great year with PSG where no one really put a foot wrong, and then continued it going into this tournament here, and has been a real shining light midfield. I do love João Neves, and I really should have put all the PSG midfielders together, but have to put some Chelsea representation somewhere, and for me it's Cole Palmer. Interesting type of tournament, but on his day he will shine. He will break a game apart. He's been that player in this tournament that's just sort of into the pockets and just float it around, pick the ball up, spread the play. And yes, there's been other players in the wide spaces that have probably stood out more for Chelsea, but Cole Palmer gets so much attention, he absorbs so much pressure and allows others around him to flourish. So I've got him in this side in the central attacking midfield area. Again, only the 1 goal, 1 assist this tournament, but it feels like he's growing from a slow start to really heavily involved, contributing without the football, one-touch stuff in the final third, Cole Palmer, in the last few games. I've talked about Fabian Ruiz and how fantastic he's been. Vitinha, for me, one of the best in tight spaces. A player that's not afraid to go in for a challenge. Pressing, for me, is his strong. So he leads that press in that centre of the park for me. He's the energizer. He is the most all-rounder midfielder I think we've got in world football right now. Oozes that sort of similar qualities like a Luka Modric and like a Toni Kroos did at their peak at Real Madrid, the way he just does a bit of everything and does it at such a high level. There's no flaws in Vitinha's game right now. So for me, he is a must in this side. He's the first probably on the team sheet for me. Then coming to the front line, and this, again, very hard to get Chelsea players in. They went Kavica, Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side. 1 goal, 2 assists. Again, his numbers haven't been out of this world for PSG since joining, but his contribution is just, you can't really put it into words. He's taking this team from a very stylish, strong team to something that is next level, that has cutthroat edge in the final third. They don't waste chances. He is involved, making things tick in the final third. And his quality in the football, the ability to dribble past defenders, the ability to draw a holding midfielder in to come and double him, opens up space for other players. It opens up passages. And like Achraf Hakimi, because of how dominant he can be on the left-hand side, opens up that channel for the late run to the box coming from that right-hand side. I think he's done a fantastic job, especially that Champions League knockout run. He was so pivotal to PSG in the final third. 1, holding the ball. 1, making things happen when he has the ball. And then just being that pressuriser as well. He looks to press without the football. And that's what Enrique's side is all about, pressing energy without the football. I did go with João Pedro down the middle. Been very, very good since joining, in this tournament. 2 goals in his limited time at Chelsea. But he's looked like a brand new player at this football club. Given the license to be the centralised striker, to play alone, I always thought he was better in a combination. Him and Danny Welbeck worked really well at Brighton, but he's worked really, really well on his own in the middle for Chelsea. Obviously, with the support of the likes of Cole Palmer, Pedro Neto, and obviously Gittins will come in soon to support him. He can be maybe one of the more dangerous strikers in world football because he's not really that centralised number 9. He's got to turn a pace, got some aggression, has that physicality to hold the ball up, and his finishing right now in and around the box is second to none. We know he's a real clinical finisher when he gets into those dangerous areas. So he's gone to the starting 11 for me. And then obviously Ousmane Dembele. Again, someone who's had a limited game time coming off that hamstring injury, but 2 goals and 1 assist in those limited appearances shows the quality of the man. He has to be the Ballon d'Or winner now if they're going to win this tournament as well. Again, pressure, intensity, pressing hard up the pitch, and then just quality in the final third. He's playing with confidence. He's playing with belief. This is the Ousmane Dembele we were promised all those years ago when he burst on the scene at Borussia Dortmund, consistently putting up unbelievable performances. Just in a flow state right now. It feels like no one can go near him. No one can challenge him. When he's on the football, he just glides past defenders. But he's the opposite when he goes to defend. He's physical. He's in your face. You see those clips of him in that sort of like sprinting stance, ready to just go and press the goalkeeper and the centre halves after a goal kick. He is so eager to get involved and win that ball back for his side. And look, he's playing down the middle for this PSG side without a centralised striker. But in this combined 11, he has to go on the right for me because I had to give some Chelsea players a chance in this combined 11. But there you go. I went Donnarumma in goal, Nuno Mendes, Tosin Adarabioyo, Marquinhos, Achraf Hakimi across the back line, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and Cole Palmer in midfield. And then on the left-hand side of attack is Kavica, Kvaratskhelia, João Pedro down the middle, and obviously Ousmane Dembele plays on the right-hand side. It's going to be a very interesting final. I think Chelsea will come in with some belief, but they know they're going to have their work cut out for them. I think for me, for Chelsea, it's about being a little bit more direct in this game, give up possession and become more of a nugget defensive unit. Enzo, Caicedo, compact, deep defensively. Give PSG the football. Don't allow them to counter press you. Don't allow them to get in your face, in your space. With the likes of Robert Sanchez and Cole at the back, who like to play out from the back. I can see mistakes coming. I can see chances being created for PSG through some Chelsea mistakes at the backs. I think for Chelsea, about changing a game plan, adapting to the situation, playing more direct, playing with speed. João Pedro, Pedro Neto, very, very quick, direct type players. Try and get them in behind. Cole Palmer dropping into different holes and playing direct long balls could be their way to win this game of football. But when you look at this PSG side, they're unbelievable. They're unstoppable right now. I keep saying it, pressing is the word. The key difference you can see with this PSG side versus others, and I guess the closest comparison being Barcelona, is the way they press. They'll play a high line. They'll get into your face. They make it a scrap. And not many teams can deal with this. In this modern game of pass, possession football, sideways, pocket spaces, and continue to pass the football, continue to maintain possession. The antidote, the fix to that is high pressing, high energy football and relentless pressing at that. PSG, you might beat the initial pressure of Kvaratskhelia, Doué and Dembele, but then you got Vitinha, Jean Neves, and Fabian Ruiz. And then after that, you got the fullbacks and the centre halves, Marquinhos and Patrick at the back. It's just so hard to break down. And then when they win that ball back in transition, Mendes, Achraf Hakimi flood forward. You've got Desiree Doué's skill. You've got Dembele's smart runs down the middle and Kvaratskhelia, Kvaratskhelia. If you're backpedaling versus him, good night. He will put you to sleep and score past you. So I just think PSG have too many avenues to win this game of football. They've battered Real Madrid, scoring 4 past him, put 4 past Atletico Madrid, put 5 past Inter Milan in the Champions League final. They've not put a foot wrong, it feels like, in the last 6 months since that midpoint of the Champions League. And they've been on the upward trajectory and absolutely dominated every single game they've played. I think they'll do it yet again here. I've gone with a PSG 3-1 win. I think Chelsea will be involved in the game, but their goal will be a consolation goal. PSG will run this game. I think the midfield once again will be the difference. They're just so strong in there. They can control the pace. They can control the momentum and undoubtedly dictate the way the game is played. If they want to slow it down, they can. If they want to speed it up, they can. PSG are the puppeteers and Chelsea will be the puppets in this game here. It just feels like it's a David versus Goliath type battle here. But don't get me wrong, Chelsea have proved a lot of people wrong in this tournament. Their signings have hit the ground running. They could cause some problems. But for me, PSG are way too good. That's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who's in your combined 11 for this Club World Cup final? Look, I've tried to be fair as much as possible and put some Chelsea players in there. Undoubtedly, I know someone will say just put a whole PSG 11. And that probably makes sense. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What's your prediction for the game? What's your combined 11 between these two finalists? With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy the game coming up. Please, if you enjoyed the video, smash a like and subscribe to the Players Zone channel and press that post notification bell. Until next time, guys. See you later.